Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Y bueno, chicos, primero, como siempre, una disculpa. Quería subir un video antes, pero pasaron un montón de cosas. Había grabado, justo este juego había grabado, ¿cómo se llama? Un video antes, hace unos días, pero pues, para mala suerte, el video bueno, el archivo se corrompió. Y luego pasaron otras cosas y recién he tenido la oportunidad de grabar. Pero bueno. Después de bastante tiempo quería empezar con un juego que fuera más o menos ligero y también pues aprovechando que este juego lo han actualizado recientemente ya que los devs le siguen dando cariño al juego de acá. eh, Quería probar este ya que habían varias variaciones. Por ejemplo, se puede notar que ahora ya está completamente en español sin necesidad de ponerle ningún mod. Lo tradujeron a varios idiomas. Y bueno, ya saben que no me gusta alargar mucho lo que sería las intros, así que vamos de frente.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Como pueden ver, está completamente traducido todo. Muy bonito. También está en esto de acá. Si no mal recuerdo dónde estaba. Como les dije, había grabado esto antes y había desbloqueado algunos finales, algunas variaciones, todas esas cosas. Pero pues, como pues el archivo se corrompió, no lo pude subir, toda la cosa. Y ahora ya no van a aparecer los logros de Steam que salieron en esa vez. Pero bueno, no hay que llorar sobre leche derramada, como dicen. A ver, lo que quería hacer primero que nada, y lo que hice en el anterior video que no se pudo subir, es tal cual, ser como si fueras un personaje 2D, sin nada de profundidad, todo eso, y simplemente hacerle caso al narrador de frente. Así que eso es lo que vamos a hacer primero.
You're here to slay her.
Eso sí, voy a saltar todito el diálogo que ya hemos visto. Ah, bien, gracias por decirme qué hacer, tal cual.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path. A warning. Before she will lie. We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him.
Entra a la cabaña. Vamos a hacer absolutamente
The
todo.
interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Eso sí, vamos a saltar, ya les dije, todo lo que ya hemos escuchado. Entra al sótano, toma la daga.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather...
Lo que es curioso y que había mencionado también en el anterior video que no se grabó, es que el juego juega bastante con lo que serían las perspectivas, por así decirlo, o las creencias de uno. Por ejemplo, si no tomamos la daga, la princesa no se vuelve tan hostil como se vería ahora que si la tomamos.
The door to the basement creaks open.
Me encanta cómo el juego como tal tiene tantas pequeñas variaciones.
Her voice carries.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Solo porque tomamos la daga. A ver, nada de ser imbécil. Continuar bajando las escaleras.
You're still listening to reason.
Y aquí estás, viniste a matarme algo por el estilo. Que no está. Calmar tus nervios y avanzar.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
No lo pienso, solo estoy seguro y lo voy a hacer.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Está acá.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh, this is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really?
Muy bien, hay que creer que está muerta, porque si no va a revivir y nos va a matar. Por supuesto, está muerta.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Muy bien.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
Mi casa.
What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
Es pura mierda, déjame salir de este lugar. O bueno, creo que mejor esperaba un mejor final después de haber salvado el mundo. O bueno.
So glad you're keeping an open mind. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Si no mal recuerdo, en la... ¿Cómo se llama? La partida pasada en la que sí llegamos al final y al final nos escapamos con la princesa dejando que los avatares del... Bueno, las versiones deíficas de nosotros se mataran entre sí. Terminamos diciendo que la entidad que está en el vacío silencioso, o como sea que se llame, es la entidad del cambio y nosotros somos como que y el caos, y nosotros somos como la entidad del orden y la quietud. O sea que básicamente somos opuestos.
Psst. Hey. We're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Por supuesto que no. ¿Tienes alguna idea de cómo sacarnos de aquí? ¿No escuchas un narrador? Sí, felices, estamos felices. Por supuesto que sí, me gusta este
Really?
lugar.
Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know, I guess. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning.
Uy, sí, qué feliz estoy.
Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices, please, fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
Listo. Final bueno, lo hiciste, salvaste a todos. Y se acabó, chicos. Speedrun de cómo pasar el juego en, no sé, menos de 15 minutos. Ay, qué final más mierda. Encima me tengo que comer todos los créditos. A ver, ya. ¿Dónde está? Volver al menú principal. Ya, ahora sí, dejando de lado esa mamada, vamos a hacer una partida de verdad.
You're on a path.
Saltamos esto. Vamos, continuar en silencio a la cabaña.
You make your way up the short.
Ahora, lo que quiero hacer es hacer las decisiones más extremadamente irracionales que pueda hacer. Es decir,
The interior of the cabin.
actuar como si tuviera, no sé, bipolaridad. Pero extrema, así como que, no sé, 5 segundos digo que quiero matarla y luego 5 segundos después digo, no, la amo, la quiero salvar, o algo así. A ver, primero que nada tomemos la daga.
You take the blade from the table.
Vamos al sótano.
The door to the... Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds... Don't let it...
Y ahora, de forma estúpida, vamos ¡Hola!
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Sí. Bien, me atrapaste. Vine aquí a aniquilarte. No. Aún no lo he decidido. Solo vine a hablar, calmar tus nervios y avanzar. No. No.
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to... Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a
A ver, tomarla con más fuerza, soltarla.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clack.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
Sí, lo que tú digas.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
A ver, una relación, estás contando conmigo. Sí, bastante incómodo. ¿Cómo podría sacarte de aquí? Estoy aquí porque se supone que acabarás con el mundo. Hay que gente que piensa que acabarás con el mundo. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cuánto tiempo llevas en este lugar? ¿Dónde está? ¿Cómo podría sacarte de aquí?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Está bien.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. She is. I'm sure of it.
A ver. Bueno, ya hablamos suficiente.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Aniquilar a la princesa, voy a sacarte de aquí. Voy a sacarte de aquí.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to...
Sí, a ver. Si no hay ninguna llave, ¿tienes alguna otra idea? Además de cortar el brazo para liberarte.
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement.
Ya lo vimos. Volver a bajar las escaleras.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Muy bien, agarramos el cuchillo, toda la cosa. Rescatar a la princesa.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Acercarse a la puerta
You
cerrada.
won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her as the princess approaches the bottom stair. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't watch me.
Muy bien. Ahora, como les dije, cambiemos de opinión. Ya la intentamos salvar por 5 minutos. Ahora, estos 5 minutos vamos a intentar matarla.
You bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Fine, okay. There's no go. Though the blade left a deep gash in her shoulder, she barely so much as flinches. Turn.
Are you serious?
Sí.
I don't know what came over you, but if we're doing this, I guess I'll have to kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that? I can beat you to death with one. But I don't have to tell you that. I'll go ahead and show you.
Ok. ¿Qué pasa si me doy por vencido? Nah, vamos a aniquilarla.
Thank you. You swing your arm towards her throat, the blade singing through the air, but she's ready for it. She
¡Demonios!
grabs your arm, her grip like a stone vice. You drop the blade, pathetically.
¡Oh, mi manito!
She lets go, and faster than you can react, rears back and hits you with a bone-shattering haymaker. There's a ring in your ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone where she fractured your jaw, but your body isn't allowing you to feel much right now, adrenaline coursing through your system and numbing your nerves. You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your trembling arms up to defend yourself before she hits you again. Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside of you.
You poor thing. I'll go ahead and put you out of your misery.
Muchas gracias. Al menos lo intenté.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground.
Ay. Pop, eres un amante de las patas.
Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess. It can't just end like this. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Me pregunto qué aparecerá ahora. La torre. Ah, no, espera, esa ya la vi,
You're
creo,
on a
¿no?
path in the woods. You're here to...
A ver, vamos a meterme otra vez y ir a la cabaña.
A warning. Can we tone down the... I'm not being a pessimist.
Sí, esta ya la vimos, ya. Lo voy a saltar.
Why do we feel so...
Tomar la daga. Sí, este es inútil, no...
Should we... The chain...
Sí, este... Ya lo supervimos, soltarla.
And yet... Oh...
Kneel.
On her command...
That's the last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. What draws you? Speak.
The last time nobody should have... Then you should...
Sí, todo esto lo vimos. Se supone que acabarás con el mundo.
You weak will...
Is that so?
The princess...
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world, it's time for me to seize my destiny.
She's inevitable. There's nothing...
Estoy a tus órdenes, jugar lealtad.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent?
No, es que ya vimos tu ruta, no puedo hacer otra cosa.
All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much... No, you can't just give in to her, not when the stakes are so high.
There's still something in the way. Agree? Is that a person? No.
Is she... That's impossible. She's not supposed to be a...
You're a shriveling little worm.
No.
I don't care what... Rise, my...
Without hesitation.
Break...
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is... All you need to do...
Muy bien, romper sus cadenas.
Her chains shatter. And the cuff...
What a good...
Y listo, se la lleva en las manos. Eso ya lo vimos, fue una pérdida absoluta de tiempo. A ver, el error desapareció, acercarse al espejo. Vamos a saltar todo esto. Mira tu reflejo y me va a decir que he crecido, ¿no? Ah, no, soy yo. Ir a la cabaña. Acercarte a ella.
Something finds me in the...
Listo. Ah, y como le... Ah, no, bueno, no les dije porque no sabía en el otro video, pero... Si intentas atacarla o destruir tu cuerpo, no pasa nada, miren. Tu voluntad atraviesa la entidad que hay frente a ti, pero no pasa nada.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
Lo mismo que en mi caso, destruir tu cuerpo.
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
A ver, ya le preguntamos esto en muchas anteriores partidas. ¿Y qué pasa ahora?
Nothing as we...
Sí, nos diría que olvidemos y toda la cosa. Ok, hazme
She
olvidar.
asked,
Listo, lo mismo de siempre. Vamos a ver, hagamos como si estuviéramos haciendo speedrun. Contener silencio hasta la cabaña.
You make your way up.
Entrar en la cabaña.
The
Lo mismo de
interior of the
siempre.
cabin.
Nada nuevo, a ver. ¿Qué variación? Ah, claro. Podemos hacer eso. Entrar al sótano, sin la daga. Solo viene a ver cómo estás. Estoy aquí para salvarte. Estoy aquí para salvarte mentir. Ok.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
¿Se acuerdan aquella vez en la que conseguimos una historia así toda, entre comillas, románticas y todo tipo princesa y príncipe? Ya, me faltó inspeccionar algunas cositas. Porque la última vez le preguntamos tanto que se caricaturizó. Está difícil esa palabra. Y pues sacamos un final, bueno, una cosa ahí. Lo que estaba pensando, como les decía, de ser razonable ahorita, lo que se me antoja es ir y matarla sin ningún motivo. Muy bien. Ver qué puedo hacer, examinar las cadenas.
Only making this.
Ya, esto ya lo vimos, chicos. ¿Y si tienes alguna otra
Maybe
idea?
there's some way to break the chains?
Volver a bajar.
You make your way to the bottom of.
Ya, listo, eso ya lo sabemos.
Fine.
Rescatarla, acercarse a la puerta
No.
cerrada. Aniquilar, advertirle.
Stop that.
¿Dónde está? Resistirse.
The blade. Move.
Ya, nos mata un montón de cuchillazos, ir a la cabaña, toda la cosa.
A warning.
Entrar a la cabaña. Está
The
el...
interior. The.
Está el maldito tipo que tanto odio, que es el... El de, ¿cómo se llama? El de la voz del enamorado, no me acuerdo cómo diablos se llamaba. Tomar la daga.
You take the. I suppose if we're to play the role of
Ay, odio ese tipo. Muy bien. Entrar al sótano.
The door to the basement creaks open, but it's still a soft voice.
Hello?
Her voice. It's somehow okay, we don't even know the princess. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. You walk down the my love. You know oh, your spirit.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried.
Did you hear that? And she called us a flattery really goes along waiting for you to come. That's right, villain. And well, only because he made us try.
Ah, odio ese tipo. Ahora, ¿dónde está? ¿Listo? Prepárense, chicos, aquí vamos.
Blade in hand, you run the princess. Wait, no! You barbarian, what do you think you're doing?
Oh, ¿qué crees que estoy haciendo? ¿Qué crees tú que estoy haciendo?
But you ignore the pleas of the foolish little voice and press on. The princess's eyes grow wide with terror as you approach, but she does absolutely nothing to stop you.
Adiós, querida.
Your blade pierces her heart, and she collapses pathetically to the ground.
I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong?
Sí.
No, my love, you did nothing wrong. I'm sorry, not you.
I'm going to die now. I think that's what you want.
Sí.
And just like that, she's dead. And the world is saved. Thank you for seeing this through. I know it must have been difficult. I feel sick. Sick? You took part in the murder of the fairest creature that's ever lived. And you merely feel sick. I, for one, am absolutely distraught. Grief-stricken. Inconsolable.
Y yo por eso me siento muy feliz.
You'll get over it. You just saved everyone. Get over it? You smarmy ass. There's nothing in the world worth getting over it for. We might as well just end it all. You raise the blade, aiming the point directly towards your heart. Excuse me? No, you absolutely do not do that.
Literal, esa fue mi reacción también. Espera, ¿qué carajo?
Yeah, let's not make any rash decisions. We should give ourselves a minute, take a deep breath, and rash. The only rash decision we've made was running our cursed blade through her heart. This is far from rash. This is measured. This is the only thing left for us to do now that she's gone.
Permanecer en silencio. Yo soy quien toma más decisiones aquí. y digo que no, si eso es lo que quieres hacer, veamos qué sucede. Yo soy quien toma las decisiones aquí y digo que no.
Exactly. You're not doing this. All of you may have previously thought that my passions were too great to stifle, but those were merely passions of joy. My passions of sorrow run deeper than the ocean itself, and you'll find that they are far more unstiflable. Haven't you? Haven't you all? I don't believe this. What? What don't you believe? You plunge the blade into your own heart and collapse to the floor. You can't be serious. Why are you helping him?
Está muerta.
I'm not. He just made it happen. I'm sorry. That's right. You're all sorry. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Genial. La angustia.
You're on a path in the woods. You horrid monster. Do you think just because we've returned to the woods you've earned my forgiveness? Our beloved had best be alive and well when we return to the cabin, or you'll never know the end of my wrath.
Cuando vi esto por primera vez me quedé bien imbécil.
She won't be alive and well when we return to that cabin, because she's dead. We killed her.
Este tipo también me cae muy bien. O sea, es como que de esos tipos que te caen bien cuando hablas con ellos y toda la cosa, pero como que no quieres de amigos, solo no sé, te hacen reír.
You killed her, and so I killed you. And you clearly didn't do a good enough job. I'm still here.
Por eso les digo, es como esos tipos que te hacen reír mucho, pero que no quieres de amigos como tal.
Oh, and I'm still here too. If you lot get to be blessed with seemingly eternal life, that must mean she's still there, waiting for us to throw ourselves at her feet in remorse. I doubt it. I think I'm better at killing than you are. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2? It's our 3rd. What gave it away? Your open discussions. I couldn't care less what he knows. Every second we stand around arguing in the woods is a second that I'm anxiously worrying about her. Take us to the cabin and take us there now. With each passing moment, our relationship may be damaged even further, though I fear the rift between us may already be permanent. And if it is permanent, then what? You'll kill us again? Oh, you just wait and see. My vengeance will echo the depths of my bereavement. Don't provoke him. I'd prefer if we didn't die again. I'm not fond of dying.
A mí sí, ¿han visto la muerte de Marvel Comics? Está bien... Pero me desvío del tema.
Why not? You've already done it twice.
Aunque la de DC creo que está mejor, pero
It was unpleasant. It was only unpleasant because you think it's supposed to be unpleasant. I'll make you feel what I feel if it's the last thing I do. And mark my words, you won't like it when it happens. Oh, how exciting. I'd love to see you try. Can I? Well, I'm not just going to try. I'm going to actually do it.
en serio, el apático me cae bien porque está que se pelea con este tipo.
I'm looking forward to it. Good. I am too. Can I talk now? Yes, I can. Great. Now that you're listening, let me remind you that if you're here in the woods, it means that the princess is not dead, and that her very existence currently poses a direct threat to the entire world.
¿Qué sucede si no vamos a la
She'll
cabaña?
find a way out eventually and the world will still end. The only way this resolves is if you find her and slay her before that happens. Again he makes her out to be a monster. I'm tired of all this slander. She's never hurt anyone in her life except for us, and that was our fault.
Ajá.
We don't know that. She could have done all sorts of things we weren't around to see. Turn around and leave, go to the cabin. I'm fine with either. So long as we don't just do the same thing again.
Yo estoy al mando. Si la aniquilamos de nuevo, no volverás a obligarnos a suicidarnos. ¿Entendido?
Oh, it's clear, you murderer. Though I should remind you that you're not as in charge as you seem to think you are. I'm sure his outburst last time was just a fluke. I wouldn't worry about him. Besides, if he kills us again, he kills us again. It doesn't matter. He'll tire out eventually. The flame of passion always burns out in the end.
Spoken like a true cynic.
Enough bickering. Just stay focused and get to the cabin.
No hemos hablado lo suficiente sobre lo diferente que es este lugar. No era diferente la última vez.
If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time.
Wait, but if her influence is spreading, that means there's hope. That means our beloved is waiting up there for us, ready to make amends.
Yes, I already told you that she's alive. Don't mind him. I don't think he's doing too well.
I'm doing better than any of you. I'm doing great. She's alive.
Influence doesn't require life. But if things restarted, why wouldn't she be alive? Who said they restarted? All they've done is changed.
Cambiaron.
I shan't listen to the vile mutterings of you serpents. Onward! Our living, breathing princess awaits us.
Independientemente de lo que vaya a suceder, parece que todas nuestras respuestas están en la cabaña. Debemos continuar. Ir a la cabaña.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just... don't muck it up this time, alright?
Okay.
Oh, we'll muck it up all right. We'll get our happy ending, even if it damns each and every person who's ever lived.
Whatever you do, don't let him influence a single decision. He's clearly lost it.
Sí, está loquito.
I hate that I'm agreeing with him on anything, but I really don't like being at the whims of someone so unstable. It's stressful. Yes, having all those feelings isn't very productive, is it? But we're just passengers here. Why stress over something you can't control?
Así es, chicos, el que está al mando soy yo, entiéndanlo.
You're saying that like stress is just something you can turn off. It is. It's easy. Whatever happens, happens.
Are you even alive? What's the point of doing anything if you're not going to feel a single emotion?
I don't know. I just exist. And that's fine with me. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await.
Entra en la cabaña.
The interior of the cabin feels dry and brittle. Ancient dust-covered wooden beams hold up a crumbling ceiling like mummified ribs, each elegantly carved detail of the stately building preserved in an extended stasis.
Miren, aquí
Everything
está.
here has been kept safe and dry.
Aquí está,
lifeless.
aquí está. Si le daba clic antes se iba a saltar el diálogo. Las antiguas vigas cubiertas de polvo sostienen un techo a punto de derrumbarse como si fueran costillas momificadas. Cada uno de los elegantes detalles esculpidos de la majestuosa estructura está preservado en una quietud prolongada. Todo en la habitación se mantuvo seguro, seco y sin vida. Aunque el hecho de que ya, como está traducido, ya no tengo que traducirlo yo mismo hablando, el no tener que narrárselos a ustedes se siente un poquito, no sé, como que me da un poquito de pena tal vez. Pero igual, al menos ayuda a que mi voz no se gaste tanto. Y bueno, miren, está acá.
But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the dusty wood of the far wall. Is that her?
Our beloved. So she does live.
She doesn't look very alive to me. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it.
Perhaps it's gone because an oh-so-deserved guilt has started to worm its way into each and every one of you. Perhaps all of you do feel just as bad as I about what we've done. Though if you felt the oppressive guilt I feel, we would have manifested that weapon directly into our heart.
Ah, cómo odio a este sujeto.
I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement?
Ok, acercarse al espejo.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's so hazy. We should try and clean it off. It's
Limpiar el espejo.
time for all of you to see what we've become.
You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things.
I see. We are too hideous for even a mirror to behold. We can only hope she might still see some good in us.
Ay, la voz del sim.
No way left to go but down.
Muy bien.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an antique staircase lit by weak torchlight. The air here is so stale it practically stands still, as if the very molecules of this place have been fossilized, trapped for eons until your arrival. Even the blaze of the torches can't penetrate the odorless air, as if they'd run out of fuel to burn ages ago, their light still flickering more out of habit than from adhering to a physical reality. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadow.
La verdad, me recuerda bastante a... No sé exactamente qué es, pero es como que algo relacionado con el Día de Muertos. Lo cual tiene sentido, porque está muerta.
There she is again.
My love.
Bueno, muerta entre comillas, está medio fantasma.
She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
Ok. No tengo ningún arma, no había nada con arriba cuando llegué, bajar las escaleras. Creo que tenemos mucho de qué hablar.
No. Do you think she's upset with us? I don't like being here unarmed after what happened last time. I feel so exposed.
Of course she's livid, and with good reason.
You aren't helping. Are you scared of a little ghost? What's she going to do? Look at us until we feel bad? She can look all she wants. It won't do anything.
Ya veremos. Bajar las escaleras.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead.
Y esa.
No. What foul trickery is this? How can this be? We just saw her alive and well a moment ago, floating away transparently.
Whatever we saw was a ghost. I thought we were all on the same page. Do try to keep up. Your thoughts are interrupted by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs, clutching a brightly burning torch.
Ah, genial.
So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even. Yet, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying, or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table.
We make amends. She obviously still holds us in her heart. She's bearing a torch for us and everything.
Nos quiere hacer a la parrilla.
But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
You came back. I missed you.
Yo también.
That angelic voice. I missed you too, my beloved.
No de esa forma, no de esa forma.
You sure snapped back to your old self quick. Yes. Seeing her dazzling countenance again has reignited the warmth in my heart.
This is a bad place. We're supposed to be together, but it keeps making us hurt each other.
Bueno, no, es que solo me dio las ganas de matarte la segunda vez que nos vimos.
The torch falls from the princess's hand and bounces down the stairs.
It'll be so much better when it's gone.
The skeletal wood of the basement, perfectly dry after uncountable years of desiccation, immediately catches fire. She's trying to kill us. A misplaced escalation of her passions, but clearly she still cares for us. I say we burn with her.
Uy, sí, qué bonito. También traigamos un poco de carne y unos malvaviscos y traigamos un, no sé, un campamento. ¿Por qué cerras la puerta? Me quemaré. ¿Estás molesto conmigo por haberte matado? Lo lamento. Correr hacia la daga, correr hacia la puerta. Correr hacia la puerta, a ver.
As you rush up the stairs, the entire cabin erupts into a raging inferno. You ignore the princess, throwing yourself headlong against the door, bashing at it with your clenched fists in a vain attempt at freedom. It's no use. You're stuck here. Your skin starts to bubble. As layers of you peel away into raw, seeping burns, you feel a hand on yours. You turn to see the princess, face bright and smile wide with manic affection. She clutches you close to her chest, watching with loving eyes as the flames eat you away, bit by bit. The pain is unbearable at first. Every inch of you screams as your flesh is stripped away, your muscles stiffening as they're cooked, your blood boiling in your veins. But it isn't long before the flames take your nerves, and with them, your ability to feel much of anything.
Genial.
See? That wasn't so bad. It was so bad. But somehow, the nothing is so much worse. You'll get used to it. There are still the feelings of the heart. Those never go away.
Estaré tan feliz en el siguiente loop cuando no estés.
Oh, they always do in the end. You just haven't experienced enough. Eventually you'll want them to stop too. You'll make them stop. Trust me. The princess's smile never fades. Her skin peels away, and then her muscle, until all you can see is her charring skull, locked in an eternal grin. It's very romantic, really. We got our happy ending after all. We can die happy.
Morimos hechos chicharrón, no sé de qué estás hablando.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here?
Muy bien, vamos a ignorarlo. Nos acercamos al espejo, desaparecen esos tipos.
This does. Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt.
Ignore the cowards. You have to look.
Este man sí tiene huevos. Mira tu reflejo. Has crecido. Ir a la cabaña. Acercarte a ella.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Hueles a parrillada. ¿Qué opinas sobre este receptáculo?
This one is passion betrayed. But even in the end, her love never faded. She will make for a bright heart. Do not mourn her, for she has finally found her light.
Claro, el fuego la consumió. Bueno, estoy listo para volver.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
¡Oh! Genial.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Ah, claro, dejé de grabar desde que me saliera el logro ese, por eso sí salió. Claro, claro. Bueno, a ver, vamos a seguir, chicos. Todavía hay un poco de tiempo antes de que se me empiece a resecar la garganta. A ver, vamos a saltar todo y a ver, continuar en silencio hacia la cabaña.
You make your way up
Ya me acordé que hice la otra vez que en la primera
the interior of the cabin.
en la primera vez esta run lo hice mal. Ya me acordé. A ver, primero tomamos la daga
You take
para desbloquear otra ruta. Entramos al sótano. Vamos todo tranquilo. Le saludamos como
Don't
imbécil.
be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
A ver, no. Soltarla.
the blade
Vamos
tumbles
acá.
out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an
Bueno, ya hablamos suficiente. Voy a sacarte de aquí.
oh, you
A ver. Si no hay una llave, te hago una otra idea.
Well,
Volver a bajar porque
You
lo
make
esto es
your way
inútil. Y la rescatamos.
against your better judgment. You place the blade against the
Nos
prisoner.
acercamos a la puerta, no nos va a dejar y no nos va a dejar aniquilarla. Vamos a
Stop
advertirle
that.
y resistirnos.
The blade. Move the blade.
you're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease.
Nos vemos en el siguiente loop.
Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Muy bien.
You're on a path. You're here to...
Llegamos en esta ruta, ya habíamos estado. Lo que quiero hacer ahora es ir y conseguir a Mimir. Ahorita van a ver a qué me refiero.
A warning.
Tralala, tralala. Llegamos acá.
The interior of the cabin...
Llevemos la daga. Oh no, espera. No me acuerdo si era... no, sin la daga. Entrar al sótano.
I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation and I'm... Are you sure? What if she... I don't know... turns it against us? Which I'm bringing up in a... Yes. Turns it against you. She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her. Which you won't be doing because she's an existential threat to the entire world. Okay. I'm trying...
Oigan, yo no puedo opinar cuál es la gran idea. Ay, al carajo, tomemos la daga.
You take the blade from the table. Thanks.
Ok.
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. Should we be worried about... Why would you be worried about... Have you noticed the empty...
What
Yeah.
an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Ok, aquí ya estamos, así que me voy a saltar lo que ya vimos. Creo que no será necesario que haga nada. Está completamente encadenada, solo dejar aquí, dejar a la princesa en el sótano, no quiero a la princesa. Está con ella.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Ok, sentarnos más cerca.
Do you think this is a game? Do you think these chains take away my say in things?
Aprendan esto, chicos, para la próxima vez que estén encadenados del cuello. Y en una prisión de máxima seguridad.
As you move towards the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly. The metal chains constrict around your windpipe as the princess heaves with a muscled intensity.
Drop the knife or you die.
Está bien.
What is she doing? We weren't trying to attack her. I can see where she might have gotten the wrong idea. She doesn't have much agency here. Would we have trusted her if the roles were reversed? I don't know. How about we think about the nuances of interpersonal relationships when we're not being strangled? How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you.
Saltarla. Ah.
As your weapon falls pathetically to the floor, the princess releases you from her stranglehold, shoving you away. Your hands test the bruised flesh of your neck as you regain your senses, watching with a dazed expression as the princess snatches up the blade.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
Nope.
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly, as she raises the blade to her throat.
Diablos, chicos, va a ser el truco que hacen todas las chicas cuando intento acercarme a ellas.
You can stay right where you are for this next part.
What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck. No.
Mira hacia otro lado, mira mientras se produce un silencio incómodo. Sí, ya estoy acostumbrado a ello. Ya les dije, cada vez que intento ligar con una chica, eso es lo que termina pasando.
Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, as she saws through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that?
¿Saben? Me acuerdo de esto, de acá, que literalmente en esa run lo que hicimos fue sentarnos como estúpidos y poner esta... No, nos acercamos a esta tontería y solita se puso alrededor de nuestro cuello y nos quedamos sentados como imbéciles mirándonos con la princesa. Todo hasta que se derrumbara. Y bueno, cuando se derrumbó toda la prisión, por el paso de, no sé, serán miles de años, o cientos de años, finalmente fue libre y se la llevaron la entidad de las manos.
Huh. So that's her play. Killing herself? She isn't dead yet. Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens.
Parece chicle.
The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet. Oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back.
Claro, un poquito de cinta de doble pega y lo puedes pegar ahí la cabeza al cuello de nuevo.
The princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead. Congratulations! You saved the world.
Gracias, soy el mejor.
So I guess that's it. What a way to go. But she is gone, isn't she?
I hate this. Can we just get out of here now? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
Now hold on, she's dead. So what's the rush? What's your angle?
No está muerta hasta que estemos seguros de que está muerta. Si creemos que está viva, está viva.
I don't have an angle. I'm just looking forward to putting all this behind us. I'm sure you can understand that.
Look, I'm just not ready to put my guard down. It's best to keep sharp. She wouldn't have done all that without some kind of a reason. She's left us with this dangling thread, and I need to know why.
You're just wasting your energy. The danger has passed, and now we can all relax and enjoy your reward.
Ok. Llevarte a la princesa contigo.
Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head. its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin. Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved.
Obvio.
She didn't. She's dead.
No es cierto, ahora es Mimir.
But what if she's not? Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal? The door to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it.
Muy bien.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen, but it's already...
Sí.
Over? Is he gone? But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
Y se la llevan.
She's
Ok.
gone. And is that a...
Acercar al espejo.
This... You're right. Part of me wants...
Ok, vamos a ver, mirar mi reflejo. Me he marchitado. Ir a la cabaña. Me acerco.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
La verdad, no quedaría mal nombrar a la entidad como Manuela. Quiero decir, es obvio por qué, ¿no? ¿Qué opinas de este receptáculo?
This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
Ok. A ver, ¿cuántos más faltan?
We will know when we near our destination.
Ok, todavía no nos dice cuántos, así que todavía hay varios loops. A ver, déjenme revisar la hora. Sí, creo que hay tiempo para uno más. A ver.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to...
Muy bien, lo de siempre. Eso lo saben. Continúen silencios hacia la cabaña.
You make your way up.
Entra a la cabaña.
The interior of the blade.
¿Qué puedo hacer ahora? Ah, claro, ya me acordé. Ok, vamos primero, tomamos la daga.
You take the blade.
Entrar al sótano.
The door to the... Her voice.
Who's there?
She said, don't let...
A ver. Hola, creo que estoy aquí para matarte.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy... She's so coldly... Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Sí, no era broma. Aún no lo decido, solo vine a hablar. Sí, no era broma.
I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk things out.
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of.
A ver, tomarla con más fuerza.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because
You step forward, your grip on the blade.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed.
Aniquilar a la princesa. ¿Estás seguro de que no está armada? Lo siento, podemos hablar. No soltaré la daga. En vez de aniquilarla de frente, no soltaré la daga.
Then I'm not talking to you.
¿Qué pasa si hago eso? Mirar a la princesa con los ojos entrecerrados mientras sostienes la daga.
Stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
Ay, qué gracioso. Mira a la princesa con los ojos entrecerrados con más
You
intensidad.
squint even harder. So does she. At least nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
Ok, soltar la daga, aniquilar a la princesa. Hmm.
The
A
blade
ver.
tumbles out of you.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just...
Against your will be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to...
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
A ver. Hagamos
Oh.
esto.
Have you...
You know.
Voy a sacarte de aquí. Voy a mantenerla cerrada. Aniquilar a la princesa.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to you. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurt! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
Terminar el trabajo, darte por vencido. Ok, no puedo. Terminar el trabajo. Huir y encerrarla en el sótano. Terminar el trabajo.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either.
Como les digo, no tengo ni la más mínima idea de lo que estoy haciendo.
Excuse me?
Pensé que iba a sacar la otra ruta, pero ya me olvidé cómo se sacaba.
Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh,
The two of you fall to the floor.
this was fun.
Supongo.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Una adversaria.
You're on a path, you're here to...
A ver, me pregunto qué pasó. ¿Ir a la cabaña?
Oh, she will lie.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters.
Are you sure about?
The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstance the princess will do and say whatever she thinks. Crystal.
Un segundo, ¿no estuve aquí ya también? Creo que sí.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. The blade is your...
A ver, tomar la daga.
You take...
Entrar al sótano.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase. It's her fierce voice.
Is that another challenger? Finally, it's...
This isn't what she sounded like last time.
Good.
Sounds like my kind of princess. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall.
Ok, no estuvimos aquí antes. Recorrería esos cuernitos y esa cola.
Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Ok, perdón por saltarme tanto diálogo, pero quería asegurarme.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us.
Qué bonito, ¿no?
And you brought your little knife, too. Yes. I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
Te ves diferente.
You look exactly the same.
Alright, fine. If you're not going to address it, I will. What? You've already met the princess has already met you, and the two of you killed each other. Did you think you'd be able to just openly talk? Maybe. You did seem to just gloss over the whole thing for a while. Of course I glossed over it. When a colleague says something insane, glossing over it is one of the best ways to stay focused and keep moving forward. But enough is enough. I believe you. And that's all the more reason to take this seriously. You don't know that whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember.
Pobrecito.
Are you okay? Of course I'm not okay! As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
Suena como que es tu problema, no el mío. No sé de qué hablas, yo nunca he muerto, ¿no ves lo vivo que estoy? ¿Acaso alguien tan vivo como yo podría haber muerto alguna vez? Yo creo que no. Pues como te molesta, me lo voy a tomar incluso con menos seriedad. No conoces los límites de mi empatía. No te preocupes, voy a hacer un buen trabajo. Me descubriste, casi todo lo que acabo de decir es cierto. Pues como te molesta, me lo voy a tomar incluso con menos seriedad. No conoces los límites de mi
You're
apatía.
joking, right? I'm just going to pretend that you're joking. Yeah, you better be joking. We can't win unless you take this serious.
Aunque ahora que lo pienso, esto no fue en la que terminamos como una especie de masa de cuchillos horribles y en la que literalmente nos estuvimos matando como 40 veces seguidas y empezaron a haber un montón de voces hasta que literalmente empezaron a agarrar un montón de manos al final y se volvió una cosa horrible. Entonces sí, me recuerdas.
Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again?
Ay, no lo sé, chicos. No jugar esto por más de 8 meses te afecta la memoria.
See? She wants to fight us again. There's no reason for us to stand around.
No estoy diciendo que no vine a pelear, pero creo que primero deberíamos descifrar algunas cosas. Por ejemplo, ¿cómo es posible que estemos vivos?
What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. There. Unpacking done. Don't you get it? We've been given free rein to wail on each other. Forever.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
No sé qué te sucedió la última vez que nos vimos, pero no voy a luchar contra una mujer demonio gigante. Dar media vuelta e irte sin decir nada. Estoy aquí para liberarte.
Free her? You aren't. I don't know why I'm even bothering, to be honest. You know the stakes of the situation.
Hago lo que quiero.
Who says I want to be free?
Yo cualquiera, ¿por qué no querría ser libre? Si no quieres ser libre, entonces ¿qué quieres?
I want the two of us to fight to the death. I want to feel your knife split my flesh, and I want to hear your bones snap beneath my fists.
Oh, sí, tengo que estar de acuerdo con el obstinado, este es mi tipo de chica.
Is that really too much to ask?
Yeah, especially that last part.
Gallina.
Don't be such a coward.
Sí, eso.
I'm just being cautious. If it comes to violence, we can find a way to deal with her that doesn't involve throwing our life away. I'd rather not die again, and I find it deeply disturbing that you seem to relish the thought of it. Because it doesn't matter if we die again. It'll just be another opportunity to have the fight of our life. We don't know that for sure, and I'd rather not bet on it.
A ver. Intentar liberar a la princesa. A ver, ¿qué pasa si hago esto?
I'm sorry, did I hear that right? Did you just say you're going to try and free? She doesn't even want to be free. Exactly. So beyond the apocalyptic moral implications of letting her out, how do we even think that's going to work? I mean, we have a weapon, right? We could always just cut her out, yeah? While she's trying to kill you. Yeah, why not? And then what? Do you think she'll just follow you out of here?
Sí.
Maybe. I don't know. It's worth a shot, isn't it? No, it's not.
Lo haremos, liberar a la princesa. El narrador tiene razón, esta fue una idea estúpida. Vamos a pelear contra ella, atacar a la princesa. No, vamos a liberarla.
Actually, no, you're not. I have a responsibility to the world here, and I'm not just going to let you throw yourself into a scenario where the literal best outcome is the end of everything. Until you come up with any other idea, your body remains standing rigidly and... What do you think you're doing? You can't just order our body around like it's some sort of doll. Watch me. Your left arm lifts towards the ceiling and your hand twists into an obscene gesture. See? I can make you do whatever
Ay,
I
carajo.
want.
Ay, qué
So
gracioso.
what? You barely managed to lift our arm.
What are you doing? What is that? Why are you moving so weird?
The princess, taken aback, flashes her own rude gesture in return. Hey, you, decision maker. I want us to fight her as much as he wants us to kill her, but this is boorish. Just ignore him. If you want to try and free her, I don't think there's much he can do to act.
Atacar a la princesa, 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 liberar a la princesa. Ok, ya que está.
You know what? Fine. Blade in hand, you charge forward to try and free the princess from her binding.
Finally! I have no idea what you were just doing, but I'm glad it's over.
As you slash across her wrist, her elbow comes crashing down on your skull. An unsettling crack echoes in your ears.
Ow!
It's a devastating blow. Your body crumples to the floor, limbs suddenly refusing to respond.
That's it, huh? You've gotten really soft.
Everything goes dark. Really? Yes. Oh, come on, that's hardly fair. We're not dead. You're just flipping the tape. It is what it is. You're... all right, fine. This whole thing's a frustrating mess anyways. You're better off with a fresh start.
El ojo de la aguja.
You're on a path in the wood. If you weren't so damn focused on freeing her, you're strong. But you're bullheaded. This isn't a fight. It's a puzzle. She's stronger than us. I've never done a puzzle myself, but anything that doesn't get us beaten, same thing as last time. Only we'll be smarter about it. Are you insane? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If she gets out of here, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. Enlighten me. I have no memory of meeting you, but you've clearly seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. You'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already... It leaves us exactly where we started, and where I'm sure you've already been before. The princess, left unhindered, will bring about the end of the world. You have to put a stop to... Screw it. I'm sick of this smug asshole telling us what to do. If you need help busting her out of there, I'm your man. Welcome aboard. And if things go bad once we get her out of the cabin, well, at least you'll be able to get the fight you wanted.
Ok, no estoy seguro si es cuando se transformaba en una especie de masa de cuchillas así toda horrible. Pero al menos estoy haciendo algo diferente, que es intentar liberarla cuando se vuelve esa cosa.
The rest of you had better keep those two in check. They're far along the edge of a dangerous path. Don't let them go any further.
No me molestes, hijo. No hemos hablado lo suficiente sobre lo diferente que es este lugar. Esto ni siquiera parece un bosque. Es como si hubiese cambiado el mundo con su
It's
influencia.
evidence of one of many ticking clocks. You can't let her spread, but do we know it's her? For all we know, he's in control, pulling the strings to make us too afraid to do anything but slay her. For all we know, it could be us making the change. Exactly. And at least, as things are now, there's no way for us to know. But the world is clearly not as it seems. We can't trust anything until we learn more. If you question reality itself, there's not much I can offer in the way of persuasion, but do consider that it probably isn't helpful for anyone to...
A ver, independientemente de todo lo que vais a ver, parece que nos hará ya lo mismo ya. Sí, vamos.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. There'll be time for that later. For now, you know what you have.
Entrar en la cabaña.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your side. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to, but there's nowhere to go in here. This is just a hallway with a mirror. A mirror? But there isn't a mirror here. There's the iron altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. Does he really not see it? Or maybe what we see as a mirror, he sees as it is a door. And before you ask, no, it's not a mirror-shaped door. The object at the end of this room is both door-shaped and a door. Who cares what it is? It's in a... Take it!
Ok, tomar la daga.
You take the blade from the altar. Good. Wouldn't want to be pushed around without a way to push back.
Acercarse al espejo.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. It's a bit grimy.
Ok, ahora
You
romperlo.
bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping against the floor. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
She hasn't changed as much as she did the time before. She still wants a fight, which means we still know her.
¿Estás segura de que todavía quieres pelear?
Dead certain. Everything inside of me screams for it.
This is getting us agreed. What? You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. We best remember how to get back up. The last thing we want is to be stuck between a wall and a raging devil. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness.
Ok, ahora sí estoy seguro que es una ruta nueva. Sí, porque no recuerdo esto para nada.
Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh. Break your bones against my body. I want...
If we're trying to break her out, I doubt she'll come willingly. We'll have to use ourselves as bait. I really don't like the sound of this. It's the only way to get us both out. And we need to see what happens when she leaves the cabin. You know what? I should have tried to intervene earlier because I can't let you do that. I won't. Tough shit. We're the ones in control here. It's not the... Yeah, doesn't feel nice to be yanked around against your will, does it?
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
Primero tenemos que hablar. Podemos pelear cuando terminemos, pero tengo preguntas que quiero hacerte. Quiero saber qué sucedió después de que me mataste. Aquí abajo no. Si quieres pelear conmigo tendrás que venir por mí. Si quieres una buena pelea, si realmente quieres ver lo mejor de mí, necesitamos un lugar con más espacio. ¿Por qué no quieres ser libre? ¿Por qué insistes en pelear conmigo hasta la muerte aquí en la oscuridad? No pelearé contigo. Acercarte y detenerte justo fuera del alcance de sus cadenas. Si quieres una buena pelea, si realmente quieres ver lo mejor de mí, necesitamos un lugar con más espacio.
The princess scoffs.
Oh, you're up to something tricky, aren't you? You're teasing me with what I want, but I'm sick of waiting. I'm not going to let you give me another bad fight. I'm going to get what I want.
bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Okay, she's taken the bait. Now let's get out of here.
¡Corran, chicos! ¡Corran, corran, corran,
Without
corran,
hesitation,
corran!
you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Sí, chicos, muy pocas chicas se dicen esas cosas. Qué bonito.
We're planning on it.
Ah,
Reach the
vamos,
ledge
vamos,
and
vamos,
hoist
vamos.
yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same?
Que yo soy yo.
You continue to the door. It'd be a real shame if it were stuck.
Deje de decir mamadas, narrador.
Don't listen to him. Locks are nothing. Just barrel through. No!
Liberarla, morir,
Your
liberarla.
skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. So, this is what the end looks like.
What is this place? Where are we? This doesn't feel right.
Esta es la libertad. ¿Acaso no entiendes? Todo lo que conoces allá abajo es una mentira. Las respuestas que encontramos aquí serán la verdad. Es la única manera de que seamos libres. No lo sé, pero esperaba que pudiéramos descubrirlo juntos. ¿Qué quiere decir con que esto no se siente bien? No decir nada. Digamos la respuesta larga que me hace acordar a la alegoría de la caverna.
Free? This is just... What is this? This is just another place. I don't care about places. I only care about you. Is this what you wanted? For me to see this?
Ah, qué linda.
Fine then. I've seen it. Are you happy? Are you finally going to come back to me? Are we finally going to fight?
She readies her powerful legs to charge you, but then she slumps.
But I don't feel like fighting anymore. I'm cold. It feels like this is where I'm supposed to be, like stepping out of that door with some driving purpose I've long forgotten. But I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I'm so confused. I'm sorry. It's cold.
Hay dos vidrios. No hay peor ciego que el que no quiere ver. Libera a alguien que no quiere ser libre.
She's gone. And there's that mirror.
Muy bien, nos acercamos al espejo.
This doesn't feel... You're right. Part of me wants screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
Ok, se van, mirar el reflejo. ¿Qué sigue? Te has deshecho. Ir a la cabaña. Acercarte a ella. ¿Qué onda, Manuela?
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
¿Qué opinas sobre ese receptáculo?
This one remembers a spark lost in time, and she would stop at nothing to reclaim it. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally remembered what she thought she'd lost.
¿Cuántos receptáculos más tengo que traerte?
One. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back.
Ok. Estoy listo para volver.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally... I will be here.
Un corazón ardiente. Llévale el ojo de la aguja a ella.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Muy bien, chicos, creo que por acá lo vamos a dejar porque creo que ya va más de 1 hora y casi 2 horas. A ver, acá está... acá está la partida guardada que les dije que hice el otro día, que se corrompió el archivo. Bueno, vamos a sobreescribir esto. Sí. Y bueno, chicos, como les dije, ahora sí, ya me voy a poner las pilas, voy a empezar a subir videos más seguido. Y les agradezco a todos los que han estado apoyando el canal durante todo este tiempo, pese a la inactividad, los comentarios, todo eso. Es un gran apoyo y una gran motivación. Ya saben que si quieren apoyar más al canal, lo único que tienen que hacer es compartir, suscribirse, dar like y comentar y poco más. Bueno, yo soy Tetsuo y el próximo video lo subiré tal vez mañana, tal vez más tarde o cuando me dé la gana. Cuídense mucho, chicos, los quiero, bye bye.